What's up, guys? Welcome back to the $1 Million Challenge, where I start off with $1. I'm trying to get 1% profit every single day until I get to $1 million. Right now, we're sitting on day 469 of this challenge with a total capital of $7,697. Yeah, so a couple updates before we hop into some gameplay today. First things first, man. We're a little bit down since the past couple episodes here. Definitely down since the last episode. We had some sports bets though. So let me show you those real quick. With a big day of sports betting back from April 28th, 2026. We had a lot of sports bets. We ended up losing money. We lost $19 sports betting on the day. Luckily, we had the one O'Neal Cruz home run, which kind of saved us a little bit. But yeah, pretty rough day of sports betting. We also had a bonus. This was actually the monthly bonus for May. $51.85 on the website we used. The last episode I said we had a monthly bonus. It was just like a VIP ladder bonus. That was like $33, which we also had the weekly in the last episode. So we had like the weekly, we had a VIP ladder bonus, and now this is the monthly bonus. So like within 2 videos here, we almost had like $100 worth of bonuses, which is pretty crazy. But even with that in mind, we're still down money in the past handful of episodes here. So I was looking at the sheet here. I'm gonna give you guys my mindset real quick. Then we'll hop into some gameplay. I'm only going to probably do 1 day of gameplay today. And I'm going to pause the community challenge for this episode. That's pretty much the game plan. But let's take a little bit of an analysis on the tracking sheet here, okay? So we have these days kind of set up here. And what is that? Like 2 weeks of days. I kind of stocked up. I was kind of taking it slow. I was on vacation and stuff. And I was like, all right, we'll just save these days for the community challenge. We'll have a ton of days to just rip through and be able to test strategies. Unfortunately, since I came back from vacation in the past couple weeks here, we've just been tanking money. So this right here, we were at $1,000. That was like when we made some good profit, I believe. Or no, I was like even farther back. We were up at $2,000, made some good profit. Then ever since then, we've been just kind of losing money. So we made $2,000. We withdrew, I think about like $1,000 to $1,200 into the investment account. And ever since then, we've been losing money. I'm trying to not redeposit into the website that we use, because I don't want to just like keep moving money and gambling it and losing it. So that's kind of the mentality there. But we're kind of hitting this like little stagnation where we were at a peak balance of $8,155. That was our peak. So yeah, right there, that was our peak. And then ever since then, we've just been kind of like staying flat, going down if anything. Now looking ahead, we're stuck, like I said, in the website here. I actually have about $87 if we include the bonus, which is not included in the previous day yet. But going into this day, I should mention our 1% profit goal should be $77. Since we lost money, sports betting and the investment account and crypto account went down, we have to get $145 profit to reach our 1% profit goal. And I'm not going to redeposit money today. I think going for days like this are very unreasonable, unrealistic, and just not worth the risk of trying to get that profit to get the 1% profit goal. Probably end up busting our bankroll. And then looking ahead, okay? Looking ahead, you can see that these numbers, these don't include the website balance, which right now is only like $87, which is not much money. But you can see it slowly goes up. And this is as of today that I'm actually recording this. So if we just drag these numbers down, even though the $36 isn't much, but say we just didn't gamble and caught ourselves up to where we are today, we'd be at $8,000. Okay. And right now that's like a $300 gain where we're at, just from sports betting, investment accounts, moving around, bonuses and stuff like that. So mathematically speaking, gambling has been destroying us. Like I said, we were like about $2,000 in profit at one point on gambling alone, mainly because of this big $1,400 hit. And right now, after about 2 weeks of play, we've lost like $1,000 gambling. And this is where we're sitting at right now. This is how much profit we've had gambling. So we lost like $1,000 in the last like 2 weeks just from gambling alone. And it just hasn't been profitable. I don't know if we're hitting like a streak of bad luck. Variance is kicking in, because obviously the more you play over time, the house edge will eat away at your amount wagered, which actually like makes you lose money. So like gambling cannot be technically profitable in the long run if you're not factored in like bonuses, or, you know, in the variance where you're up money, unless you cash out like while you're winning money, but you're gonna have ups and downs and dips and stuff. So with all that in mind, we would be at $8,000 making profit from sports betting and stuff. If I just skip ahead until today, I think what my plan is today. All right, I know it's a lot of information, but I got to give you guys a little bit of analysis of the decisions I'm making. So the goal is going to be try to get this $87 balance we have on the website up to $100. I'm not going to be using like any of the, we're not going to be doing the community challenge today. Try to get to $100. If we get to $100, I think either way, if we get to $100 or if we bust, we're going to just skip ahead. I'll probably just like go list through all the sports bets like for the next couple of days, because this is another big thing too. If I move money from like FanDuel or DraftKings or Fanatics into the website balance, I have to rework a lot of the math, and I keep track of our bonuses and sports bets over here too, our profits. So I'd have to rework a lot of the math going backwards if I move money from like down here up into the website, and then I have to like change all these days to make everything flow correctly and not mess with like the way everything's tracked. Because like technically we would say like we profited a bunch of money and then we lost like a FanDuel. If I move money around from like FanDuel to the website, it would say like if I move $300 over from down here, it would say that we just like profited $300 randomly. I have to do just like a lot of like weird formulas and math to fix everything. So for the sake of simplicity, maybe it's a little bit of laziness, and I think if we, like I said, we skip ahead, we are at $8,000 pretty much, even if we don't gamble. So I think it's just smart to, I'm gonna do today, and then if we win or lose, I'm just gonna skip ahead. We'll go through all the sports bets and everything. I'll talk about everything that happened over the next like 2 weeks here, but we're gonna skip and play live again, and then we'll probably have to move money. Win or lose today, we're gonna have to move money probably into the website, and it'll just make the way I track things easier. We're gonna skip some days of variance in the sense of like I'm not gonna gamble, so I'm not gonna risk any money, and I think we're gonna keep it at that. So I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot going on. People probably would not like me skipping like that. We've done this before though, in the past, where there's like days where I just skipped ahead and didn't gamble, like for this orange streak and stuff. I think honestly it's like the best move to just do that. There's a lot of days where we like didn't gamble at all, but yeah, if we like don't need to risk money, I'd rather like stop sending the balance deeper and deeper and deeper if we don't need to, instead of just trying to force a day of getting profit. And I know we're gonna make, you know, some profit from sports betting and stuff if we just skip ahead here. So that's enough analysis, enough talk. We're gonna hop into the website and try to profit $13 today just to get $100 on the website, or we're gonna bust it and then just call it a day. So let's see what we can do, and let's hop into it. All right, coming into the website here, we're gonna be doing, this is the strategy I ran in the last episode, Sonny's martingale keynote strategy. It ended up busting. It's only had 11 progressions, but today I'm gonna try it again, purely because of the fact we have these opportunities to get big multipliers, and it is a very, very risky strategy, but I figured we'll start off on a lower base bet, and it's just a martingale strategy, and we'll start off at 1 cent. And I know this is probably a really bad idea because it's probably gonna bust, but we'll give it a shot. We're basically trying to get $13 in profit. Every time we get a win, we're gonna reset, and every time we lose, we're just gonna martingale. So we just got a loss there, go up to 2 cents. I'm just gonna try to lower the bet size a lot, so we have way more progressions than we did last time, and hopefully we can hit like a giant multiplier on a bigger bet size. But if not, we'll just give it a shot and hope for the best here. It's probably be pretty slow, but yeah, man, like I was saying, I'm just not feeling gambling recently. Like, I know, like I said, looking ahead the next 2 weeks that we have to catch up on, I know we already made profit sports betting and from bonuses and other things, so just like my gut feelings tell me not to gamble. Obviously gambling's a losing game in the long run, like I always say, and just trying to take a little bit of like a break from it, in the sense of like, not like for the challenge, but just recently we've just been getting decimated and we're just hitting a really bad streak. So if I can prevent that as much as I can, that's the goal. I don't know, it's kind of where my thoughts are at, man. I just really am not feeling gambling at all. Yeah, as long as like if we could gamble way less than we usually do. The thing is too, like with sports betting, we've had a pretty bad run from probably December up until like the past month, maybe. I'd say the past month's been like pretty profitable. So yeah, the fact that sports betting's been pretty flat. We've had to gamble a lot recently for the past like couple months. And we've been doing decent. We got a couple big wins which kind of carried us, but other than like the big wins, we've been losing money pretty significantly. And on top of that, there's a good hit. On top of that, yeah, I really just like wanted to add a lot of money to our investment account, our crypto account, but we haven't been making any profit to be doing so. And luckily we've been getting some good growth in our investment accounts. So if we can focus more on like sports betting at the moment and pull back from gambling, obviously I do the content with the gambling part, so I'm not gonna like completely pull away from gambling, but I think just skipping the days ahead, I just think it's not mathematically smart to be risking the bankroll for all those days I just showed you. And yeah, I was just gonna play it. We're gonna play it how, you know, try to be a little bit smarter with how I'm running things, and this is pretty much it. I mean, I'm not trying to like ramble too much, but you know, the gambling aspect is always meant to like, accelerate the balance each day if we have like bad losing days and stuff. But it seems like the more we play the challenge, it's not really the best method, or at least recently. We've just been having a bad streak for sure. That's like a big reason I want to try the community challenge. Obviously, I want to get you guys involved in how the things operate with the challenge. I was also hoping to learn some good strategies that will boost the bankroll. But unfortunately, even the community challenge has been kind of rough with the strategies that we tested. And I'll admit, like, honestly, the ones that did bust, they were pretty close to making profit. They really weren't like terrible. Like this one, for example, it busted, but it's not like a terrible strategy. I think just you gotta have the more progressions than how it was set up. But I don't test them off camera. I purely just do them how they're set up and run them flat like right out the gate. You probably should test some of them. That's why I'm like lowering the base amount to $100 for each strategy instead of trying to use like an entire 4% stop loss each day to test everyone's strategy. But you know, that's the whole point of the challenge, man. We got to adapt and change things along the way. Talked about this before too. As the challenge progresses, gambling will be a lot, I guess more significant, because we won't have like bonuses. There's a good hit right there when you need that. We won't have the bonuses as much as increasing the bankroll. Sports betting is very dependent on how Volume Bets does, because I just track him. So if he's doing good, then I'm doing good. He's been staying very flat, and I'm not, you know, blaming him or saying anything in a bad way, because I just, you know, blindly tell him. I don't do my own bets. But we haven't been like extremely profitable sports betting. But in a perfect world, like I said, sports betting is the biggest driver. We get some gambling on the side, a little bit of bonuses, and then we have our investment accounts really doing most of the work, which is tough for like a 1% daily profit goal. So I get that. But yeah, just try to adapt things, try to prevent the bankroll from going deeper. I know I'm just rambling a lot saying the same thing, but hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that's all clear. And there we go. I think I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. I'm considering going to like a 2-cent base bet instead of 1. But I figured as soon as I do that, I'd probably start getting some big loss streaks. I feel like that's pretty typical with how my gameplay's been going recently. So I think we'll stick with the 1-cent base bet. I think I might actually just turn this on auto, and yeah, we'll try that. So let's just increase it by 100. We're going for, let's do the math real quick. We're trying to get $100 on the website today. So from there, we would need $11.41. And we will start this. I'm not gonna have instant bet on. We'll keep it running pretty slow. I'll probably hang with you guys for a little bit here. Also, it starts taking a long time, but I'm assuming there's probably gonna be some big dips. Luckily, we haven't had to experience that yet. But yeah, last time we ran this, we got like 11 losses super fast, which just wrecked the bankroll. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah, 1 cent is extremely small, but it does give us a lot of progressions, especially with the martingale strategy. You definitely need those progressions. So yeah, I'll probably speed this up and we'll come back in a few seconds. All right, I was just gonna come in and say we were on a pretty big dip there, but luckily we came back. Really, once we hit like the 32 cent bet size or anything bigger than that, we're really hoping to hit like a 5, 15, or 100x. That'd be sick. Obviously, that's asking for a lot, but that's kind of the goal. So yeah, I'll speed this up again, and we'll be back in a few. Alright, again, yeah, we're starting on a pretty big dip there. Just wanted to hop in, see how that was going to go, but luckily it came through. Keep this on instant bet. It's doing pretty good so far. We're trying to get like $13 in profit though, so it's asking for a lot. And we hit a couple decent dips, one really big one. But see how this goes. Here we go, big dip. Alright, luckily that pulled through. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna run this and we'll see how this progresses. I'll probably just come back whenever this buster completes instead of just popping back in. But kind of nerve-wracking. We'll see if we can get there though. We need like $8. All right, so the biggest dip we had was like $35 down at one point. I don't think I can get there, but yeah, it was like $35 down. Luckily, we're still moving with it, but either way, I did want to like clarify too. I'm not running this as part of the challenge, like for the community challenge. I know I ran this last episode and it busted, but this is not. This is just me trying to make some money today. Even though we only made like $9.80, we still need $1.50. Sorry, $2.50 to get to our $100 goal for the day. So I'm gonna hop into a different game after seeing that $35 dip, just to make like 1 penny after that. Yeah, I'm gonna hop into a different game, try to make that $2.50 somewhere else, and then hopefully it'll be an easy day after that. All right, so coming over to dice, I'm gonna run my 75% win chance strategy. Basically, if you want to see real quick, this is what we're doing. This is the conditions for it. So every $10 you use like 1 penny as a base bet. So instead of doing 90 cents, I'm gonna start with like 40 cents just to give us a little bit more progressions. And we're hopefully gonna run this up a little bit here. Hopefully it doesn't go too far. I don't know if I'm gonna run this for the entire $2.50. I know we're playing with like pennies here. I need to be getting like $160 for the day or whatever. But yeah, I'm not trying to risk the balance too much. That was a crazy dip. I think we're gonna stop this soon. Let's turn off instant bet. Try to get to like maybe $91. Sorry, $99. Turn instant bet for a little bit. Trying to slowly work this up though. Been playing like a little bit fast. I feel like a little bit aggressive, so try to. There we go. We got $99. We're trying to get $1 more, then we'll call it a day, and we'll go into a different game real quick. All right, so we're gonna try to finish off on the wheel here. What we need to do, I'm gonna be running this strategy. It's something that somebody suggested a while back, and it worked pretty well recently. Maybe we'll start off with like 3 cents. Give us a little bit of a buffer, but basically we're just gonna martingale this. So every time we spin it, every time we get a loss, we're gonna double up the bet size. Every time we get a win, we're gonna half it. And if we hit a number that's like a 2x or higher, we will decrease it by that amount of times. You'll see how it goes, but every time So we get a loss there. We're gonna double it up. We're gonna double up again on another loss. Double it up on another loss. And we got a 2x. I'm gonna half this twice, so we're back to 6 cents. We'll martingale it again. And then we got a win, so I'm gonna half this again twice, back to base bet. And we hit a 3x. We'll martingale it once. We'll double it up again. We'll double it up again to 24 cents. We hit a 2x. We're gonna divide that in half twice. Double it up. We'll just half it once there, since that was not like a 2x. Double it up. Double it up to 24 cents. Double it up to 48 cents. All right, up to 96 cents. Up to 192. And we'll half it once. And then we'll half it twice. And we'll go down twice, back to 6 cents. And we're just gonna keep doing this. We're back to base bet. We're just trying to get this through $100 total. Getting pretty close. Getting some good wins. We need like 20 more cents. Hopefully we don't bust on this. That'd be crazy if we bust on a 3-cent base bet. We need 9 more cents. We're gonna double it up there after a loss. Double it up again. We're gonna double up again, 24 cents. We'll half it once. Double it up. Double it up. Half it once. Back to 48 cents. 96 cents. Half it once. Double it back up to 96. We'll half it twice. And there we go, $100.18. All right, that feels good to get a win. I think that was kind of my mentality today, was basically just to get a win. Not necessarily a huge win, but I think I need to build momentum, confidence, getting some winning days, even if they're like small wins, rather than anything crazy. So we're gonna leave it at that though. We got $100 in the website now. I'm gonna enter that in the sheet and then we will move on. Okay, so day 469 was a win. We were supposed to get $145 on the website to reach a 1% profit goal, but we just went for $12.55 in profit. I added the bonus money to the balance for the next day here, but we're not including that in our gambling profits. So yeah, overall in the day, pretty much stayed flat, which is fine. Went down like $5. Or no, I guess we actually, or no, we went up. We went up money, I guess, right? Yeah, because I include the bonus. So yeah, it's saying I don't know. I guess since the previous day, we stayed flat the way that tracks. But yeah, either way, we're gonna move on. I think the rest of this video is gonna be pretty straightforward, pretty boring, but I'm just gonna go through all our sports bets for the next like 2 weeks here, okay? 12 days. We go for like 12 days of sports bets. So if you want to watch, this is basically just for proof of me documenting everything. It's gonna be pretty slow, pretty boring, but I'm just gonna go through it just to show you guys that I actually did this stuff. That's where all these numbers are coming from. I'll try to rip through it pretty quick. I'm not gonna really talk about the investment balance or the crypto balance too much. You can see though, just from where we're at, moving on to day 470. Simply, we're at about $2,000 here, and then currently, as I'm recording this, we're at like $2,140. So the investment account has been going up. Crypto account, sorry. Investment account, same thing. We're at $3,200 back from April 29th, but currently we're like $3,400. So those investment accounts to go up. You can see the futures have gone down a little bit since things cashed out, which I'll show in a second here, and then we place some more futures, so the futures column did go up. Other than that though, we're gonna walk through some updates for the next 12 days here, so lock in. This is back from April 29th, 2026. We had 4 sports bets for the day. And I will mention too, I track volume bets on Instagram. Like I always say, the link to his page is in my Discord server. If you join there, you can see all his bets. He posts them free every single day on his Instagram and his Twitter, I believe. But yeah, they're all free. You can track him, tell him, that's what I do. So he gets all the credit for this. But back from April 29th, 2026, we had 4 bets. It was a losing day. It went down about $58 sports betting for the day. So it was a losing day. And just gonna drag these numbers down here, and yeah, you can see on the day there we went down 1%. So you'll see a lot of days here we're gonna be losing a lot of money. That's why I'm kind of just skipping through, and I don't want to gamble because we're gonna have to do a lot of catch up trying to get all this money back, and we're just not gonna chase losses and just kind of progress the challenge. But keep an eye on these columns over here. This is just how much that's changed since the previous day, how much money we would need to get our 1% profit goal. Those numbers are gonna be pretty big for some of these days. That's why I'm just gonna skip ahead and not risk the bankroll. All right, so then for day 471, this is back from April 30th, 2026. We had one sports bet for the day here, and it was a win, so we did make some good profit there. Yeah, a little bit of profit, nothing crazy, but yeah, on the day here we went up. If I just drag these numbers down real quick, again, I'm just gonna do this for each day, so bear with me. But yeah, it's looking like we went up a decent amount between our investments and everything else. So we actually went up 1.44% for the day. This number here, this is something important, and I wanted to touch base on these next two ones here. This is our increase on the month of April. This is how much our bouncing up over the month of April, which is really good. It's like about 30%, which is what we're looking for. Really 35% should be our, if we got 1% every single day. So that's actually a really good increase, even though we've been kind of struggling. But if we go back to the beginning of the month here, we started the month of April at $6,000, and we're ending up at the end of April at $7,780. But yeah, that's pretty big. Just want to make a note that we did go up really good over the month of April, even though it seems like the past like couple weeks here have been pretty rough. We did make a lot of money, so I got to keep look at the bigger picture here. And then for day 472, we had some more sports bets. We had some futures cash out too. But overall in the day, we lost like $30 sports betting. So not the best day there. But if we drag these numbers down, I guess I'll just drag this the whole way down here. So that website balance will stay flat the whole way through here. But yeah, on the day, we actually went up a little, like 0.4%, so not terrible. We'll take that, better than a loss. And then for day 473, this is back from May 2nd, 2026. We had a couple sports bets here. Overall in the day, we went down $3 sports betting. We had $15 in bonuses throughout the entire day, so not terrible there, just between the different apps that I use. So overall in the day there, we pretty much stayed flat. Went up 0.06%, so nothing huge, but we'll take that as, you know, another stagnant day that we don't have to risk gambling. And then for day 474, we had we had one sports bet really bad. I placed it twice because I had to use a boost for one of them. Back from May 3rd, 2026, we had a total of $31 in profit from sports betting and no bonuses for the day. So bringing that balance down there. Looks like we stayed pretty much flat. Went down 0.01%. It's pretty much stayed flat, just because of other movements in the bankroll, I assume there. But yeah, not too bad. And then for day 475, we had no sports bets. We had $1 in bonuses for the day. So very flat day there. Even though we did make a little bit of money in the markets, it looks like. We went up a little bit. So again, we're just staying flat here, not really getting that 1% profit goal, but not really going backwards, which is good. And from where we're sitting at on today's video, we're pretty much already up like $170. Or no, just $70. Yeah, just 70 bucks there. So we're going up, not risking any money currently gambling. That's why I'm doing this. So I'm moving on to the next day for May 5th, 2026. This is day 476. I did some sports bets for the day here. I had $1 in bonuses and about $47 in profit from sports betting. So pretty good day right there. But coming back to our sheet, if I just drag this number down here, you can see for the day we went up 1.5%. So nice little increase there, and we'll take that. And then for day 477, this is back from May 6th, 2026. We had a couple sports bets here. Profited about $13.50. Had $1 in bonuses between different apps that we use for sports betting. And if I just drag this number down, we'll check out our change on the day. Went up 1% for the day there, so pretty darn good. We're already up to $8,000 just from where we're sitting at. So again, it's kind of, I'm doing this, man. We're just moving things along pretty slowly. But moving on to day 478. This is back from May 7th, 2026. We had $1 in bonuses, and then for our sports bets, we had a few bets here. So those are the bets for the day. And we went down $62. It's a pretty rough day sports betting. I know it looks like, yeah, we lost every single bet. So a very rough day sports betting, but it's not, you know, the worst thing. It's gonna happen. You're gonna have days like that. I've had those before. So we went down like 1.5% on the day there. Not the best, but definitely not the worst. And it's good not to just try to chase that and catch back up at the moment. Just where we're sitting at. So then for day 479, it's back from May 8th, 2026. We have our sports bets. Let me pull those up real quick for you guys. I actually have a lot of sports bets for the day. So here's the first one. This is our first set of sports bets. And here is our second set of sports bets. I also have a third set of sports bets. We have a lot of sports bets for the day. But here's just proof that I placed all these. Those things are actually happening. So there's our third one there. And then that's it for sports bets. But overall on the day, we lost about $39 sports betting. So could have been like a really detrimental day or a really good day if we hit all those or lost all those. But either way, for the day, we went up 0.4%, which is really good than what we expected. Also, I should have mentioned back here, over the past week, even though we got like all these losses here, we had a pretty rough week. At that point where I was just recording, it's kind of finishing up. We only went down like 1% on the week, which is not bad, even though we went down about 3.5% the previous week. And then for this week that we just kind of went over through, just purely sports betting went up 1.64%. Trying to track like our weekly progress too. But yeah, I want to make note of that. So moving on to day 480, which is back from May 9th, 2026. We had a really good day sports betting. We had $0 in bonuses, but for sports betting, we had, give me 1 second here. If I pull these up, we had 2 different pages here. This is the first page of sports betting. And then we have another page here. So there you go. A lot of wins there. Like I said, we went up $102 of sports betting for the day. So a really good day of sports betting. Definitely needed that. And if we drag this down here, we went up 1.5% on the day. So another day where we don't have to gamble. So then for May 10th, 2026, which is day 481, up to the $8,000 balance, which I like to see. And for our sports bets for the day, back from May 10th, we have just a couple here. Those are our sports bets for May 10th. We made $1 in profit from bonuses for the day and about $5.55 from sports betting. So yeah, not a terrible day there. Pretty flat, a little bit of gain. Went up 0.16%, so not terrible. Staying flat. And then for May 11th, 2026, we're at day 482. We're almost there. We got one more day. We have a couple sports bets for the day again for May 11th. And there they are. That's okay. There it's showing. Just making sure that's all working. We had $53 in profit sports betting for the day. So pretty darn good day sports betting right there. And then if we just drag our numbers down, you'll see that we're sitting at a 1.24% gain. So I guess over the course of all of this, what would be all the days that I just showed you? I'm trying to see what our total increase was. 5.37% from sports betting and investments and bonuses. So a 5% since the day we just recorded, mainly from investments, sports betting, and not gambling at all. So we're going to take that 5% increase and not risk anything over those like 12 days there. And then we'll start the next episode sitting at day 483. So overall in the video, factoring in, all those days of sports betting, $487. That's why I don't want to gamble and risk money on the website and just kind of lock in that 487, not risk it, and just kind of move on with the challenge. So we're sitting at the $8,000 mark going into the next day. Hope that makes sense. I know it's a lot of like data and showing you guys a lot of sports bets that happened all at once there. But I do keep track of this stuff, guys. It's all legit. It's all real. So now if I show you guys too our graph, it'll be up to date and finally on track. So if we go down to our graph here, we were sitting at this dip right before, I guess right when we recorded this video. We're sitting right at this dip here after getting a couple losses the past 2 days. So now with that sports betting and not risking any money, we're right back to that $8,000 mark, which is like pretty much our peak where we were before. That's where we're sitting. So graph looks pretty darn good. It helps ground me a lot, and yeah, we're not doing too bad. So here's our stats. Our crypto account is up about 1%. Our investment account's up about 15%. And we made about $331 in sports betting profits since April 2026. That's when I started tracking it. And I think that's gonna be it for this one, guys. I know it's a lot of stuff, pretty slow paced episode, but we're just trying to stay flat and stagnant and not risk the balance too much. That's kind of the goal today. And then next episode, I can actually move money over to the website and it'll make a lot more sense. I don't have to like go back and change a lot of numbers. I can just kind of like update the numbers here and we'll be good to go. So hope you guys did enjoy. Leave your thoughts and suggestions below in the comments. Subscribe, like the video, join the Discord server if you're already in there, and don't gamble. It's a losing game in the long run. I don't suggest you try this. It's purely just for fun. It's a challenge for me to see if it's possible. I'm just documenting the whole thing for my own sake, just to see if it's real and this thing can actually work out. But we're hitting a little bit of a wall here, but we'll hopefully get past it. That's just the way things go in life. But I hope you did enjoy. Until next time, take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. All right, peace.